Good morning, everybody. I am Leslie Myrick, Nancy Ganzakoffer's Associate Business Coach. And this, as always, is Marketing Mastery with Kim Vanderpool of Fresh Impact. I am very excited. Social media is always a hot topic, and I love learning new tips and tricks from Kim. So today we are talking about beyond beautiful spaces, how to do strategic Instagram posting to be successful in your interior design business. And I know you're probably annoyed hearing beyond beautiful spaces because it's easy to just put photos of our beautiful interiors on Instagram, on social media. But Kim, I know you have some additional information to add to that. So take it away. What you got for us?
Thanks for having me. I'm always so excited when this month, it's like, oh my goodness, it's already time again. So it's always fun. Today, I'd like to talk about some of the new things that are on Instagram, some of the mistakes that I see many of us get tripped over, and remembering our goal is that we wear so many hats as business owners. Social media should not be a stressor. And I see that social media is a very big stressor for many of us. And how can we make it simple? So today I want to talk about simple. And the good thing is Instagram has changed. Some of the new data that's come out for 2024 is going to make our lives much simpler, especially when it comes to stories. So in the past, we would always have as many stories as you want because that little bubble that we have with our stories would always end up moving to the front. Whenever we posted new stories, we would get moved to the front of the line. Well, yes. Instagram has changed that now. We no longer get moved to the front of the line. And so the new data is showing that there's a significant drop off in people viewing your stories if you post more than 2 stories a day.
So that's really the opposite of what we've all been trained for the last few years.
Yes. So the new data is showing that there's a significant drop off of people watching the stories after the you can go 2 to 3 stories a day. And then what happens is that if you were to post, before Instagram always just allowed us to do like a 15-second video on our stories, but now it's up to 60 seconds. If you post a 60-second video and someone dropped off and didn't finish watching it, because 60 seconds is a lot of time to hold somebody's attention. Yeah, that dings you, like that dings people from watching. So there's no way for them to either finish watching that video, and it dings, like it shows Instagram that they're not interested in what you have to say. And so that hurts you in that algorithm.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you want to do like the 15-second stories if you're going to do videos. Otherwise, even just doing text stories. And then this is going to be very controversial. And remember, everything's a test. Everybody's platforms are different. Everybody's approach is different. But they're recommending that you let your Instagram stories sit for 24 to 48 hours a couple times a week, that you don't post anything. So what happens then is that resets that algorithm. So if you posted stories today and tomorrow, and then say that you started way up here and you're kind of going up, but then people stop dropping off and they're not watching your stories. So then you kind of go down here. Then on Friday, you don't post at all. You reset your stories. And so then you start again back here instead of down here. So intentionally being smart about what you're posting to stories and being using, instead of just like, I'm just posting to stories because I need to fill the space, be intentional on what you're posting to stories.
I love that because I feel like there's been a lot of pressure to just keep pushing out stories and creating content and going live and doing like more is better. But what you're saying is in 2024, more is not better. And we actually need to get a bit more curated and intentional with stories.
Right. And stories. And actually, I'm going to take it a step further for the way that we approach it with our clients and in the Get It Done Club is that be intentional with everything that you're posting on Instagram. Instagram can be a great way to reflect who you are as a person. But if we are being honest, we're using it for business. And so we want to make sure that what we're posting isn't going to help our business. So don't post just because Kim says I need to post 3 times a week and I just need to throw this out there. Because if it's not providing value for you, if it's not making you have fun, or if it's not providing value for your audience, it's not helping you at all. And so I would rather have you do 2 very intentional posts than posting daily. if that makes sense. Now, some designers can post daily. They have enough content.
Yeah.
They have enough interest. They've got enough other things going on. They're part of IDS. They're part of all these other things that they could do it. So it kind of depends on what's going on in your world as far as the posting goes.
This feels like really good news because I think for a long time it has been quantity over quality. And now I'm sensing that there's that shift that quality matters. And like you said, you're better off doing 2 posts a week that are great than 3 or 4 that are kind of half baked just to get new content out there.
Correct. Yes. And then back to stories. There was one data I forgot to share that I hear all the times, like, I don't have very many followers. Well, good news is if you have less than 10,000 followers at this point in March 2024, and you post the stories, you have a 30% increase in your reach on stories right now because of the small following. So that's to encourage all of us that don't have as many followers. Remember that followers don't necessarily mean money. Followers, you want the right followers following your account. So don't get hung up if you don't have as many followers as other designers. You want to be intentional and you can create an engagement and increase your followers with the right strategy. And that's something that takes time if you have the time to put into it. Again, what is the goal of your Instagram? Is it to be a portfolio where people come and look at your stuff? Or is it to become a lead generation? Because there's 2 different approaches for the way that your strategy would work for that.
Yeah.
Another new thing is that they did one of the big. There I am. I lost myself for a minute there. One of the big scheduling platforms did a study all of 2023 and asked consumers what do they want to see on Instagram. And 42% of them said they want short form video less than 15 seconds.
Okay.
And then another 30% said less than 30 seconds. So that's almost 75% of the people want short form video under 30 seconds. So those of you that are making videos and reels, that's a guideline for you to take on, is that under 30 seconds. Now, what could interior designers do for videos? So many things. You can show using images of before and afters. You can even I really like the one that I just watched on your Instagram feed where you were walking through your kitchen. You showed some counter and then you walked through your kitchen because you brought me into it. You're letting me experience what you're experiencing, and that resonated. One of the biggest questions I get is, I don't know what to post.
Yeah.
Yes. And so what I suggest is if you're new to Instagram, scroll through this feed, spend 15, 20 minutes looking at other designers and what attracts your attention. What makes you stop the scroll, and how can you take that strategy and implement it for you? So I'm always saving Instagram posts that resonate with me so that when I sit down to create content, it's like, okay, I liked what they said. How can I do that with my point of view or my voice?
There's the important part. How do you take that inspiration and put it into your brand, your voice?
Yes. Because
Kim, there's a question coming from Instagram that I'd love to ask just to get some clarity. Someone's asking, is that there's still a difference between reels and stories, right? Are they different? Are they sort of becoming the same? What can you sort of quickly define those two?
Yep. So reels stay on your main feed, and they're like your videos. They used to do videos and reels, but now it's all under the one feed. Stories, you can do video in stories, but your stories are only going to last for 24 hours unless you save them to your highlights.
So you can make a reel and it will stay on your feed. You can also then share that reel in a story, but if you create a video exclusively as a story, it's not on your main feed, whereas creating a reel puts it on your main feed. Okay.
Correct.
That's wonderful.
Correct. Yeah. And so when you are creating content, it's important to, first of all, if you're brand new, start where you're comfortable. So static images are still important. They're like the third thing that people want. So don't be afraid to just share images. Start with that and then try a reel once in a while. Like slowly build up. Don't start doing stories, reels, Instagram feed if you're brand new, because you're probably going to burn out because there's a lot to learn. Get comfortable where what neighborhood, we call them neighborhoods, what neighborhood you're the most comfortable in, do that, and then expand from there.
Awesome. Any other new Instagram news we should be aware of?
Let's see here. There are some new features. I did not know that DMing Messenger on Instagram is the most used space in Instagram. So if you can get people, yes, it is. It is. And so if you can get people to go into your DM, so a lot of times we'll say, if you want to book a consult, visit my website. But instead, you can say, if you want to book a consult or if you want no more information, send me a message and get that conversation off the feed and build it with them. Because if you send them to the website, that's great. I always encourage people to get into the website. But if you send them to Messenger, that's that ability to connect and build that know, like, and trust even deeper, quicker than having them go to the website.
Okay. So even if your process is get people to your website intake form, if you're on Instagram, Instagram's best practice is get a DM. Try to get them in your DMs first.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have them send a DM, then you can always send them the link in the DM.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe you make a template where that's your response is, thanks for your inquiry. To start a project, please click here. I think that's great. So we can still keep our process and we can play nice with the social media gods and build that algorithm. And
Right. Another thing that continues to be popular on Instagram are the carousel posts. And to clarify that for people, that's a post with multiple images, up to 10 images. It leads really nicely for designers, especially when you're completed a project. You can take all the different photos from that project and have a highlight. You could even pin that on your feed so people could really get to see who you are and what kind of work you do. One of the other things is it's really hard to show our faces, but those tend to be the biggest posts, the best post. And you and I were chatting about that just a little bit, that if you can get someone to even take a picture of you sitting on your own sofa, or if you're in a showroom, or if you're even out for a walk and have someone take a picture of you, that is going to resonate with your audience, and that builds that know, like, and trust so much quicker.
It does. And it's annoying because we're all these talented designers doing great work. But I can tell you on my own social media feed, without fail, the posts that do the best for me are the photos that I'm in, not my work. And people like my work, and I'm very grateful for that. But people respond to people. They want to know, they buy you before they buy your service. So I think your tips for getting photos, Kim, are great, because people get stuck on well, how do I get photos of me? They've got to look professional. And yes, one thing I always do is anytime I do a photo shoot of an interior, I discuss this with the photographer in advance, but I make sure to get a few shots of myself in the rooms I've designed. And that not only is showing my work, but it's showing me more, and it's a professional level photo that's in alignment with the rest of my feed. And it doesn't cost me any extra because I'm already doing the photo shoot for the room. So that's been a real win for me, is just make sure that I come ready to be photographed on those days. And I get usually 4 or 5 great new photos to work with on my feed.
Right. And that's a great tip. And none of us, very few of us really like our picture taken, but how do people do business? As they do business with people that they know. If you got a minute, I'm going to quickly share my screen. I have pulled up, let me just see. I pulled up a reel that I saw that came in my feed yesterday that I don't know who this designer is, but I thought it did really good and I enjoyed it. And then I looked at her reels and it had 659,000 views, which is phenomenal. But I just wanted to demonstrate how easy it is for you to do a reel. So she just showed a project and then she wrote collaboration is key. I did read it further, and she's talking about designers collaborating with contractors. And evidently she did touch a nerve just a little bit on some of the comments. But I liked that she just took a basic, quick little video and then stated a statement And that created, like, that is a lot of views. When I would love that many views off a video.
And that's so simple. There's no editing. I think we get hung up on like how to edit clips together. Like there's so many things you can do with Reels, but I love this, Kim, because you're showing this is a quick phone video and it just
Yep.
loops on the reel, which is also great for the algorithm because people are watching over and over again while they're reading all the copy. And this probably took 5 minutes to put together,
Yeah.
truly. And
Yes.
it's great and it's engaging.
Very good. I thought that was very good. Since I'm on this one, I'm just going to quickly, I think you should pop up. I've always admired Leslie's feed, and it's not just because Leslie's here today, it's because she has a really good feed. So if you want an example of different things that are good to post, is kind of just go and find her or find other designers you admire and see what they're doing. The things that I like, well, is I like to see her face. And I'm not like, she's dressed nice, she's gorgeous in her pictures, but that's not what I'm looking. I'm looking at her like, oh, I want to work with her because she looks happy, or I want to work with her because I like her style. That's what people are looking at. And then the other things to do is when you're scrolling through a designer that you do like, is look and see like what pictures make you want to stop and look at that, even, and read that a little bit more. And then how can you exemplify that? Because that's one of the things that I hear a lot is that I lost you, Leslie.
Oh, well, I think we're both still here. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
We're good? Okay.
Okay.
Let me switch something up. See if that fixes it.
I'm on StreamYard twice here.
It's okay. I think I solved it. Oh.
There we go.
I think we're good. Gotta love technology.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, we shared it, yes. And so making sure that you showcase who you are is really, really just important. And not overthinking the videos. I did 2 videos in the last 2 weeks. One was just me walking out of the orthopedic office, and that showed like, and that's all I said was, I'm going to do a happy dance. I walked out of the orthopedic office. I have a new knee. Simple, nothing big. It went to 1,500 people. And then I was demonstrating to another Get It Done Club member how easy a reel was. And literally I was on the phone making a reel with her. So I didn't put any thought to it. And it was just my grandson swinging on some monkey bars. And I said, let's swing into the weekend. And that went over 2,000 people. And so making it fun for yourself, it's going to show. People are going to like that and they're going to relate to you a lot better.
Yeah. I think people get hung up on the fact that like the feed needs to be very professional. And I agree with that. I think your feed should be elevated and show your caliber of work. Stories are a place, and even reels, where you can be a little more casual, a little less polished, and it doesn't discount, you know, your credibility, your skill as a designer. It's just where you're getting a little bit more real. Everyone knows those beautiful images cost thousands of dollars and the rooms are like, we know what the feed is and what's there, but it's these other little things, like you said, beyond beautiful spaces, the title of this live. You need to go beyond that perfectly polished, curated feed so that people connect with you as a person, as a designer, as a creative. And, you know, you can see 3 photos of beautiful rooms, but if you know nothing about the person behind it, it's hard to choose. When you follow someone on Instagram and you're like, I love their work, I think they're funny, I want to be their friend. Like there's some people I'm like, I just want to be their friend. I want to just hang out with them and like drink a cup of coffee and talk about design. That's what we're going for here. And it's okay to be a little less perfect in the stories and in this more personal content, I think.
Correct. Yep. And so I'm giving people permission to just be who you need to be, but be consistent and show up. And I had someone in the club says, oh, you need to follow this person. They have all these hacks. And I started following them and I was like, oh my goodness, I am so overwhelmed. I will never remember these hacks. Yeah. In reality, if it takes you all day long to create a reel, you have too much time. You need to be working. Like, sorry, but you have to think about the energy and time that we're investing into it. Is it the ROI, good use of your time, or could you do something else? So thinking about like, yes, we want nice reels. We want the best images to present ourselves, but making sure that we're realistic in how we're taking our time and doing our approach and keeping it try to keep it as simple as we can. And we're all different. Your strategy may not look like my strategy, but it's important that my audience relates to me and your audience relates to you.
Yes, I think that's really key is what are you interested in? What makes you you that you can share that will resonate with your ideal client? I know for Nancy, I think she had a reel that just exploded and it was just like her with her dog. People love dogs. People are dog people. They love that Nancy's a dog person and things like that. Like we don't even think that could be social content because it seems too obvious, like, or too
Right.
like, who wants to see me and my dog? Everybody wants to see you and your dog. The internet loves the puppies. Don't be
Yes.
afraid.
And
You're out for a walk. Take a quick video.
I had a picture of my poodle and I out in the snow on my website, and I got a client from that because they love poodles. So they built trust right away. And so, of course, if I had a poodle, they love poodles, they took the next step and called me. So
I love it.
if you're a cat person, whatever interests you that makes sense to your business and to promote yourself as a business owner.
I love it. Okay. Any last things we need to know about strategic Instagram posting for interior design success?
Well, if you have questions, you can leave comments at the bottom of the video or message me, and I'd be happy to answer any specific questions. Just remember that it's 2024. What we mentioned today, March 2024, it may change in May. Look at how stories have already changed. So don't be worried that if the trends are ahead of you, that you have to try to keep up with them. Do the best, show consistent, show your work, and it will pay off in the long run.
I love that. And Kim, I know you mentioned the Get It Done Club before, and that's something that our Profit Insiders Academy members have access to. And it is an amazing resource for creating social content with support from you. Do you want to share a little bit about that? Because I'm sure people heard the name and went, wait, what? What's going on there? And I think it's incredible if you're struggling with social media.
Yep. So our Get It Done Marketing Club, we offer open office hours 4 times a week where we hop on Zoom and we answer any of your questions. So I like to think of it as like I'm your social media manager in your back pocket. So I will help you with your marketing content. I'll help you develop your strategies. I will help you make reels on Canva. Yesterday, we set up somebody's LinkedIn company page. The other day, we helped somebody set up their Google My Business profile. So whatever you need in the online space, that has to do with your social media marketing, we're there to help you. And then we also have a lot of trainings and free templates and extra resources that are available to club members, in addition to a platform where they can schedule all their content out.
Awesome. So the takeaway is don't be stuck with social media. There are amazing resources, people like Kim, that can help you create that feed that can get the results you want, whether it is a portfolio, whether it is a lead generator, whether it is a brand builder, whatever that looks like for you. So thank you so much, Kim. I always appreciate learning from you. I get to host these videos and then I also get to learn and then go tinker behind the scenes on my Instagram when we're done. So thank you so much for being here.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
Bye.